Hi, I'm Waynesburg University Sports Information Director Bobby Fox, being joined by first-year head men's and women's track and field coach Michelle Cross. Waynesburg University picked #1 in the preseason PAC coaches poll for women's indoor track and field after winning last year's title, picking up 99 of 100 points and 9 of 10 first-place votes. So, Coach, congratulations on that as well.
Thank you.
And let's go ahead and start with that. What are your thoughts going in, knowing, I'm guessing you probably had a feeling you would get a lot of respect in this vote coming in, even as a first-year coach, with so many athletes back from last year's championship team. What is your reaction to this selection, and what's the team's reaction been to that from what they've heard so far?
Well, I have not had a chance to chat with the team yet, but I am very excited that that we were picked, obviously, as a head coach when you're looking at it. Indoor is probably the trickiest of the three, from cross country to indoor to outdoor, just because the nature of the events kind of shifts the points around a little bit, and so where we can typically pick up points is a little bit harder in indoor than it is in outdoor, just because there's less of a focus on distance events. But I'm obviously very excited about it, and definitely think that they're focused and that they're hungry to repeat. So.
Now, you mentioned the distance events, which Waynesburg has been so strong in for so many years. A lot of people know about the strength of the Waynesburg distance runners on the women's side, with seniors like Julie Gerber, Eleanor Locke, and this year's women's cross-country champion, Angie Marchetti. And then also a lot of people know about, of course, Addie Knetzer going into her senior year as maybe the top thrower in the PAC. How important have they been to building this program up over the last 4 years?
Oh, I mean, it's funny because when I think about them leaving, I obviously will miss the talent greatly, but the leadership is even more so what drives that, and that tends to be a married thing often. Someone who is good is also very driven and has a lot of leadership skills coming with them, and so they have just done a fantastic job of leading the team, providing solid role models for the upcoming freshmen, providing a lot of spiritual and discipline to the team, and so I obviously will miss them incredibly after they're gone, but they also just bring a lot of strength to our team as well. So.
Now, as well as the well-known commodities of the distance runners and throwers with Addie Knetzer, who are some athletes that maybe people don't pay as much attention to that play a big role on the indoor side of things?
Well, you have Cassidy, who is always solid in the 400 and in the relays and things of that nature. So she's always someone who you want to keep an eye on. And also, again, very, very strong. Her and Katie Brooks have been very strong, wonderful leaders of the team, especially coming in through this indoor with the transition from coaching and everything as well. And then you have a lot of incoming freshmen. I know that we're excited about Amber. We're excited about Becca and Gigi. We're both the top runners in the pack from cross country, so obviously excited. Top incoming freshmen, I should say, from the pack in cross country. And so we're excited to see what they can do on the track as well. So, there's definitely a lot of different parts to this. Points come from many, many different directions, and people tend to look at the ones like Addie, who chalks up a ton, but you forget that the 5 points here, the 6 points here are also very important. So.
Now, I wanted to ask you from a personal standpoint. A lot of people may have forgotten that you were a standout runner at then Waynesburg College when you were competing, but there was not an indoor team here, I don't believe, when you competed. Now, you've been a competitive runner almost your entire life. You've really upped it since you graduated from Waynesburg. Is there anything new that you've picked up over this is your 8th year here, over the years as an assistant track coach? Anything you've kind of picked up or are still working as an indoor coach, or is it pretty similar to coaching outdoor?
Indoor is really interesting because for a long time we had indoor, but they did not have a champion. So when I came in, that was the inaugural year of Waynesburg's track and field team, period. So they started that, and then I think around my junior year we started going to indoor meets, and we just used them purely as training. And then after I graduated and came back and started working as coaching, again we would go to the meets, but we would just use it as training. I think it is we've only been doing this for 2 years.
Yeah, I believe this is the third year.
2 years that we have actually had a conference. And so it has been strange to kind of restructure that, because most of the time always tell them over and over and over again, we use indoor for outdoor, we use indoor for outdoor, we want you to begin outdoor. Well, that's definitely shifted a bit, because now there is the indoor championships that we want to go after, but then we also have to work with that inside of our constructs of ultimately like with Addie, ultimately her goal is to qualify and make nationals and to do well at nationals. So for her, to come into indoor coming off of basketball, like obviously that changes a lot of different aspects, but I think it's change is good. So eventually you just figure out how to work around it and go, which program is pretty good at doing.
Sure.
So
heading into this indoor season, which will be here this weekend, starting on Friday for Waynesburg with the Marty Pushkin Track Classic down at WVU. That's where the Yellow Jacks will make their season debut. I'm sorry, Saturday, correct. Make your coaching debut as well. What are your thoughts on the PAC as a whole? That you've already obviously had a lot of experience on both the track side and the cross-country side, getting to see a lot of these athletes. Where do you see the strength in the PAC? Obviously, Waynesburg, the overwhelming favorite on the women's side. Who are some of the other strong teams you see in the women's side of things?
Well, Westminster is obviously someone that we always want to watch. Their strengths typically lie in opposite directions of us. But yeah, it has been fun to watch the pack grow in competition. It's crazy to see, and I know this because I've looked and been part of that, to see the times that we've won the conference in certain events, 4 or 5 years ago, just keep dropping. And it's fun to watch the conference get more competitive. I think that's healthy for our conference, and I think it's healthy for every team that's involved in it. But it obviously puts more pressure on you as a head coach, because you're constantly, you can't just continue to maintain, you always have to get better. So it's a good thing, it's a wonderful thing, but it's also something that requires a lot of work. So.
Well, Coach, best of luck to you in your first season. Congratulations on being appointed the new head coach at Waynesburg. As we said, the Yellow Jackets will be in competition on Saturday at the Marty Pushkin Track Classic at WVU. To follow the Waynesburg University women's track and field team, go to waynesburgsports.com, and to follow PAC track and field results, go to pacathletics.org.